Good afternoon, grade 12s, and welcome to the language structures and convention class. Yes, I know I've written July 24th there. Today's the 27th of July, but remember this is part 2 of the lesson on language structures and conventions. I hope you enjoyed the last time, and this video just sort of continues some of the things that we're supposed to focus on and to continue to learn about. Okay. If you guys remember, I did say that the lesson was focusing on comprehension and the answering of questions. And then I said, well, the other thing that we're going to be doing is on visual literacy, analyzing advertisements and cartoons. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Today focuses on that aspect regarding language structures and conventions. So we did the reading and viewing part, which is the one skill from CAPS. The other skill is the language structures and conventions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did say that this lesson would be split into 2. This is the part 2 of that lesson. And then I told you we were doing that comprehension, and then now we're going to be focusing on this. And then if you guys remember those questions, given the comprehension that we were doing, perfect. And then I'm going to leave this text for you for about 2 minutes, so just so that I want you to tell me what you see. I think just analyze this text as it is, analyze the text overall, and just tell me what you see, or just tell yourselves, what you're seeing from this text, what's happening. I mean, it says DA media opposition, and then it's floods, and you've got an individual there dressed in red. Yeah, this is the worst storm in years. What do you see there? What's going on? Okay, thank you. Hey, what do you see there? Let's talk. Remember something, grade 12s, about visual literacy. Everything, the way it's drawn, or the picture that's taken, everything that's in that picture is necessary. It's relevant. Everything plays some sort of relevance to a particular depiction. Okay, this picture was taken from Biz Community, as you can see, bizcommunity.com. I think it was on, I think it was in June of 2017. Look at that. Community, okay. Look at that. What's going on there? What do you see? Because the cartoon analysis in itself needs to tell you a lot of things. So you've got DA there, then you've got media, and then you've got opposition. Look at the lightning there. Can you see the lightning? Hey, the lightning from the opposition. There's lightning from media as well, but there's no lightning from the DA. Though the DA is storming on her, I presume this should be Helen Ziller. She does have a red suit that looks like this. And remember what I told you about caricatures. Perhaps you could see it here. Look at the bit on the exaggeration in the mouth here. Even the head. The head is bigger. It's not proportionate to the body. Look at that. Look at the hair. How would you describe all these things? And can you see all these droplets? That are just coming, or sort of spewing away from her. And she says here, this is the worst storm in years. Of course, it's a literal storm, but what's happening? What do you think was happening at the time she was saying this is the worst storm in years? What was happening? A lot of things, or many things were happening, but I think a lot was happening to her personally at the time, and she had to deal with a lot while at it. Yes? Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the questions. Okay, it says refer to text 2 and text 3. Okay, so let's look at text 3 quickly. Text 3 says unsung heroes. I'll give you like another 2 minutes to look at text 3. First of all, the cartoon is black and white. I think it was drawn by Mark Widget. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, from the Herald on the 12th of June 2017 as well. Looking at this, I mean, it says the unsung heroes, and I also like how the white, is, sort of stands out from the almost dark background, or the rather dark background. It says here, donations, acts of kindness. I think this should be a firefighting sort of lorry or firefighter car. We've got a helicopter here. I don't know where it's going. Perhaps going to save someone, or it's just saved someone. And I think this is somebody putting off a fire. This is a firefighter putting off a fire here. Unsung heroes putting off a fire here. So I think the similarity comes in the waters, maybe between the two. I don't know. Look at the trees. It's there. Can you see the trees there? Hey, can you see? Beautiful. Okay. Okay, let's go to the questions. Right. So question 8 reads, A, compare the different intentions of the cartoonists in texts 2 and 3. So text 2 and 3, what are the different intentions? Remember, intention is another language convention that we need, and another language convention that we learn and that we need to know, and that we need to know very well, because there are messages that people convey. Remember, there are different types of text. So you've got visual text and then you've got written text. All of those texts have got a specific intention behind them. And with written texts or drawn texts like these ones, even I'm sure some of you guys do visual arts as a subject, right? Those are visual texts. And given that visual text that you either always paint or draw, or sometimes both, what are you intending to convey? What message are you intending to convey? So here it says, compare the different intentions of the cartoonists in text 2 and 3. Yeah. What are the different intentions of the cartoonists? Yeah. What are they? The different intentions, it says in text 2, the cartoonist uses the recent Cape storm with the intention of poking fun at or mocking Helen Ziller, who's being rained on from all quarters, including the opposition, her party, the DA, and the media. In text 3, the cartoonist shows that unsung heroes of the Neisner fire were firefighters who donated their time and energy as acts of kindness. The intention is to pay tribute to the firefighters. So can you see the different intentions? The different intentions of both. The first intention there is just to mock, and to show people that listen. Yeah, this is what is happening. There's just been a lot going on. Then there was day 0, and then there's Cape storms, and then there was a lot going on at the time. If you all remember. And then there was a recent Cape storm with the intention, of poking fun. So they're just poking fun at Helen Ziller. Okay. Okay, let me just share this with you. I hope you see that. I hope you see that. Interesting. Hey, okay. Let's go back to B. Says, in your opinion. So this means that, again, it's going to be an open-ended answer that's needed here. And can you see the mark allocation? Look at don't forget to pay careful attention to mark allocation. Mark allocation is imperative. You need to pay attention to mark allocation, whether or not you like it. Whether or not you like it. Mark allocation is important. Okay, so in your opinion, which cartoonist is more effective at conveying this intention? Again, remember, people have got different opinions, right? And remember, opinions usually are driven by, ironically, they're driven by a particular fact that exists. Remember, usually people would say, well, yeah, there's three sides to a story. There's your story, there's my story, and there's the truth. This is an example of that. But here, um, we need to look at the effect or the effectiveness of a particular thing or the existence of a particular thing. So it says, in your opinion, which cartoonist is more effective in conveying this intention? Yeah, you may refer to one cartoon, but you should substantiate your answer by referring to the details of that cartoon. Can you see these details here that they need here are details that are everything that is here, everything that is here, and everything that is here must be included in your descriptions. You need to include everything that's in here and in here in your descriptions. If you don't, then you're really not, motivating your answers very well. Okay. Let's see. It says B. Again, students may refer to either cartoon, but should make clear the details of the cartoon to support or reflect the intentions of the cartoonist. The reason I'm showing you this here is that there is no wrong answer or right answer. You just need to provide an intelligent answer given the visual details of what you see and the visual details of what is truly conveyed in that particular, cartoon stack or cartoon frame or whatever. Okay, please ensure, don't forget that. Do not forget that. Are we clear? Let's look at the next question. Next question reads, describe how the visual image illustrates the copy, which is the written text in the advertisement. Right, so we're gonna look at text 4. Let's look at text 4 quickly. I'm going to give you about 3-4 minutes to look at text 4. Just a second. Let me find text 4 for you guys. There you go. There's text 4. There's text 4. There's text 4. There's the source credited. Remember, you must do this. This is important for academic writing, by the way. Okay, but we'll tell you more about that some other time. Look at that. Can you see? Look at what's in the background here. What's silhouetted here? Here. What do you think is silhouetted here? Here, it looks like something flying. Hey, could be a bat or something, right? So it says here, if one cebus fruit bat dies, another species thrives. Okay. Look at that there. If one cebus fruit dies, another species. If one cebus fruit bat dies, another species thrives. Learn more about this delicate balance at www.johannesburgzoo.org.za, Johannesburg Zoo Conservation Projects. Okay, so the visual is you've got like hundreds of insects in the background that are mosquitoes. So yeah, so these mosquitoes, they're mosquitoes. Can you see these mosquitoes here? This is a very beautiful visual element. Hey, if you ask me, see these mosquitoes. Can you see this is a bat? This is a bat. That's why it says if one cebus fruit bat dies, another species thrives. Hey, so learn more about this delicate balance. It's a very, very interesting delicate balance. Hey, why? A lot, many environmentalists would, I think, would come and give very interesting argumentation on these things, actually. Very, very interesting argumentation on these things. Yeah. Hey, tell me what you think. Okay. I'll share it again. There you go. I'll leave it here for a bit so that you all see. Just analyze that on your own. It's a beautiful visual element. Yay, let's go to the questions now. Let's go to the questions. Let's see, share. Right. A, describe how the visual image illustrates the copy, which is the written. Remember, we spoke, I think, in one of the lessons about advertising and advertisements. Yes, grade 12s. I think it's the one from the Thursday before the 24th of July. I think it should have been the 23rd of July. We spoke about advertising as well as elements of advertising and adverts, right? What is copy? Copy is written text, basically. And then you've got visual image, which are the images, the pictures, different colors, why the different colors, why those colors are used there, etc. But I'm pretty sure that your papers are not printed in color. I could be wrong, but I don't think your papers are printed in color. So sometimes, I mean, if you do have the privilege of writing an exam with a paper, an exam of a paper with color printing on it, then bringing out things like, well, yes, the fact that that red also brings that bat out very, very, nicely and acutely. But the fact that, the silhouette of that bat, appears. Remember, guys, a silhouette, for those of us who don't know, is something like this. It's this, but this is, you see, this is a silhouette because you don't see the actual thing, but you know that, you can make out what animal this is. You can make out what could have been here or on this part of the picture. So that's what we call a silhouette. It's basically an undetailed picture of a particular picture that is portrayed in some way. Okay, there are no details. I mean, as you can see, all you know is that the outline, I think that's the word, yes, that there are the outlines of a particular picture in a particular way. Okay, let's go back here. It says, describe how the visual image, describe how this here illustrates. To illustrate is to talk through pictures, to convey a message through pictures, to show a message through pictures, to deliver a message through pictures. I can't emphasize this more. To deliver, that's to illustrate. So describe how you need to describe using, descriptive words, of course, how the visual image here illustrates the copy, the written text. The written text, that written text is very short, quite concise, very, very, very little to read. I think you can read that in less than 10 seconds in the advertisement. How do you describe it? Okay, how do you do it? How do you describe this? There you go. It says number 9. The visual image shows a white space. There you go. It shows a white space, yes, in the shape of a bat, surrounded by hordes of mosquitoes. Can you see? By hordes of mosquitoes. What's a horde? When you talk about a horde of something, right? You talk about something that is very, very packed and packaged. It's there's like a lot of that particular thing, a lot of those things happening, or that existing within that space on its own. All right. And what does this do? What does this do? It demonstrates visually. You must say, it demonstrates visually. Visually. It demonstrates visually the idea that the removal of one species, the white space in brackets, results in the uncontrollable multiplying of another species. In this case, the mosquito. Because remember, the visual text itself says what? It says that the removal of one species, or the death of one species, or which is like I think the Cebus fruit bat, is a thriving of another. Yeah, so it's a very, very contingent, or contingency, conversation there. Yeah. It says if one Cebus fruit bat dies, another species thrives. Another species thrives. So this ties in with the copy. If one Cebus fruit bat dies, another species thrives. Okay. Okay. Let's now look at our last one, our last text 4. So yeah, again, it says B, again, mark a location, pay attention, mark a location, pay attention. Yes. Discuss whether text 4 explores similar issues to text 1. Again, you need to refer to both texts in your answer. Okay, so you need to discuss, it says discuss here, whether text 4 explores similar issues to text 1, right? So it doesn't tell you that that's what the text does. It says discuss whether, whether it actually does. And remember, whether, comes with what's this, an unwritten not, or not. So it's a matter of whether or not, so you need to discuss that. Nice one. Let's go. Let's just see again what text 1 looks like. Oh, text 1 was the comprehension, if you remember. Yes, text 1 was the comprehension. If you remember the comprehension, yep, it was the comprehension. It was comprehension, definitely. It was the comprehension. It was the comprehension. Text 1 was the comprehension. That long comprehension that you guys didn't like. Fire and floods, the new normal. Fire and floods, the new normal. Can you see? That's text 1 there. Okay. Yeah, you remember that. You remember that text there. Now, the question again says, discuss whether text 4 explores similar issues to text 1. Refer to both texts. I know what some schools do is that when they set paper 1, they theme the paper. So the paper right from question 1, to question 5 could be on maybe the coronavirus, or it could be on China, depending. It'll never be on China. I think that's quite political, and they refrain from setting such papers. Okay, let's see. Okay. Text B. So text 4 is highlighting the delicate balance. Can you see that? The delicate balance that exists in nature. The aim is to create awareness of it and to promote the conservation projects at the Johannesburg Zoo. The advert shows how the removal of one species has negative consequences. The advert shows how the removal of one species has negative consequences. Link. Text 1 also deals with issues relating to the conservation of our planet. There you go. Lovely. How do we know this? Because you guys would have read the text, of course. We've read the text already. Conservation of our planet, and warns about the negative consequences of climate change. Right, so you've got conservation here and you've got conservation there. There you go. That's where it links, right? Human emissions and greenhouse gases, rather, from cars to smokestacks are warming the planet. The result will be death and destruction. That very last sentence says a lot. Can you see? So it talks about that again. It talks about that as well. Okay. So the thing, all the way from the comprehension here, all the way to text 4, which was the advert, 35 marks. Okay, it's just an exercise. Remember, this is by no means a structure of any paper that you guys have written or have been, have done before. But again, this is like, just to give credit, this came from englishatonce.com, and our friends there with Miss Barbara Hatham. We love them very, very much. So below you'll just find the cognitive levels associated with the different questions, and these are usually described on page 76 of the English Home Language FVT CAPS document. So your teachers will also then refer to this when marking, just to see what happens. Okay, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Yep. If you do have any questions or queries, please send them to stemdigitalschool@africateengeeks.co.za. Okay. If you have any direct questions as well, you're more than welcome to do so. And as I had said at the start of this lesson there, my contact details, if you would like to ask me any direct questions as well with particular, language concerns, you're more than welcome to email me here. You're also more than welcome to email me for any tips on answering exam questions and how to tackle exam questions and what usually what markers look for when that happens. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that lesson. Goodbye.